Hi, my name is Asenath Andrews, and I'm the founding principal of the Catherine Ferguson Academy, which is a high school for pregnant and parenting teens in Detroit. It's a Detroit public school, and we've been a North Centrally accredited high school for 21 years. Our maximum enrollment is 400, maximum enrollment for babies, infants, toddlers, and now we have a new pre-K room, is about 200. We are located in the southwest part of Detroit, pretty close to the bridge to Canada, and there are a number of things that make us unusual. One, we think we're only one of 3 public high schools just for pregnant parenting teens left in the United States, as well as we have a school farm that's been nationally and internationally recognized. Our students built a barn, and somehow the Nobel Peace Committee found out about it and gave us a windmill and solar panels so that our barn is completely green, though it's painted red, and we're trying to get somebody to repaint it, but it is solar and wind powered. On our farm we have goats, rabbits, chickens, geese, ducks, horse.
What inspired you to found the school?
I'd like to say that I was inspired to start the school. What happened was I was invited to come and take a look at this little program that was housed in the Salvation Army building that had been there since the 60s, where girls could go to hide out when they were pregnant. Or in many ways, girls were pushed out of high school in the past. And so when I got there were 20 girls who lived in residence, and then there were 20 day students. And I came from the School for the Gifted and Talented and realized there were many gifted and talented girls at this program that needed a school. They needed a full school. And so it more evolved over time than I had this just bolt of lightning. I was planning to leave the country and go to work in Egypt, and that job fell through. And so I was looking for a job, and the person who called me had heard I was looking for a job. I didn't really know her, and went over, loved it, and been here since then.
Now, how many of the kids, of the young women, dealt with issues in terms of in their home life that they, as they became pregnant, they had to find out, had to live on their own or had to make that adjustment? And have you worked with them to help them find adequate housing?
When I first went to the old school, as I said, 20 of the girls lived independently. Well, most of those girls were in foster care or were planning to place their children for adoption, so they didn't want to be in their community and then have to explain that they were pregnant and made the choice, which I think is a really loving choice for many girls, to place their children for adoption. Since then, we probably have 20 to 30% of our girls who live independently. Some of whom are married, some of whom are in committed relationships, and some who just live on their own because of family issues. So we work with them in any way they need support. I think what is most exceptional about our school is that it's small enough for us to know every student, and that we try to make sure we meet the needs of all of our kids to the extent that a public school can do that.
You mentioned that you have 320 students here right now.
Right now.
And how has that grown? And can you tell us a little bit about where the kids come from or how they find out about the school?
When we moved to this building, we had 125 students. So we went from 40 students to 125 students in about a year and a half. And then we had 125 students on the books, probably 150 students. 50 students we were trying to sneak in and out of school because Salvation Army didn't really want us to have any more than 125 for capacity issues. And when we moved here, we then went to about 250, and over time grew to about 460. And that was just too many girls, though we never told girls they couldn't come to school. So we've leveled off around 350 every year.
Is teen pregnancy on the rise still? And if so, can you give me, what do you attribute that to?
Teen pregnancy took a dip for about 10 years. the actual numbers went down. The age at which girls got pregnant also went down. So there were more younger girls getting pregnant, but the net number of girls under 19 having babies went down for some years, and in the last 2 years that has begun to rise again. I don't know. It is my theory that one of the reasons that girls get pregnant is because, well, there are a number of reasons, but one is that they don't have a firm life plan in place. If the people in this country who are who are the best at contraception are women between the ages of 22 and 40 who are in career level jobs. They do a really good job of contraception. Women who are just in jobs are not as good, and unemployed women are less conscientious about birth control in general. Of course, there are exceptions to everything. So if girls have a clear and firm life plan, then they're less likely to get pregnant and also be involved in extracurricular activities. I mean, there are a number of issues that go along with that.
Can you tell me, this is a fully certified school for graduation and all the academic credits. Can you tell us about some of the unique classes or programs? Tell us a little bit about your curriculum and some of your staff.
We, all of our staff is what No Child Left Behind classifies as highly qualified. So everybody is teaching within their area of certification and college major. One of the programs that is new to us for the last couple of years is a Certified Nursing Assistant program that we teach on site. We have 2 nurses on our staff, 1 family nurse practitioner and 1 midwife, so they are qualified to teach a Certified Nursing Assistant program. So we have that. Then we offer everything that's required for Detroit Public School graduation requirements. So that would be science, math, English, social studies, health, dance.
Can you tell me a little bit about the programs that you have available for the babies?
We have what we call early education. We do not call it child care or babysitting or daycare, because education begins prenatally. We know that. And we also know that 0 to 3, there are neural pathways that open up in children between the ages of 0 and 3 that if they aren't open by the time they reach 3, never open. So we offer as comprehensive and stimulating a program as we can for children 0 to 3. This year, we also added, we were really fortunate that we were included in the plan to add a pre-K classroom. And pre-K is 3.5 to 5, or to kindergarten. And that class really does start to treat those 3-year-olds as if they were big kids. So they have science and they have, because their hands work better. I mean, there's some things you can't, coming from the gifted school, there were kids who had just extraordinary brains, but they still had 7-year-old hands. And 7-year-old hands, unless it's unusual, that eye-hand coordination doesn't get sped up because you can talk about equations. So our 0 to 3 program requires or includes individual and group reading time every day, individual and group play time, individual just cuddle and caring time. We try to make sure that all of the activities are child-led, not class-led, because at that age you don't want to have a whole bunch of 2-year-olds all doing the same thing at the same time. They should get to select. By the time they get to pre-K, then you can start doing some class-like activities. So they go outside every day is my goal.